Welcome back to Pages of the Heart. I'm Cassidy, and together with Hope, we're discussing Chapter 3 of A Winter Promise, A Season for Grace. And readers, this chapter gave us some beautiful moments of hope, alongside some heart wrenching setbacks. You know what fascinates me about art and creativity? The way communities can turn someone's artistic ambition into a cautionary tale about pride, which is exactly what we're exploring in this powerful story about two brothers, their craftsmanship, and the delicate balance between beauty and practicality.
The way this small town processes artistic failure really speaks to something universal about how we view ambition and creativity, doesn't it?
What strikes me most is that opening scene. Clara in the bitter dawn, finding solace in simple routines while humming hymns. It's like watching someone build their own sanctuary out of everyday moments.
Hmm. And those subtle hints about her possible pregnancy add such emotional weight. The way scents affect her differently, her dress feeling snugger, you can feel her hesitation to hope.
The church festival scene really brings all those community dynamics into sharp focus, especially when Mrs. Sullivan dismisses artistic work with that cutting line about how folks want something that'll last, not just look pretty.
Well, that's what makes young James's entrance with his wooden box so powerful. He's this innocent bridge between artistic vision and practical craft.
And when he asks why his Uncle Nathan doesn't make pretty things anymore, oh man, the way that question just cuts through all the adult pretense and hits right at the heart of everything.
Speaking of which, the women's gossip becomes particularly vicious when Mrs. Adams starts quoting Proverbs to suggest Nathan's downfall was divine punishment. Like, who hasn't experienced that kind of judgment in a small community?
But Clara's response shows such wisdom. The truest art lies in finding the balance. She's not taking sides. She's suggesting there's room for both approaches, which feels so relevant to how we view creativity today.
That prayer room scene really demonstrates the emotional depth here. Clara, in that colored light, experiencing anticipation rather than pain. It's like watching someone dare to hope again.
You know what fascinates me? The way the story uses physical craft as a metaphor for emotional healing. When Nathan touches that snow angel, his hands moving the way they once had over wood. It's like watching someone slowly remember who they used to be.
Though that moment when he jerks away, as if burned, when James approaches, oof, it really shows how healing isn't linear, doesn't it?
The Henderson Cradle Commission becomes this perfect symbol of possibility, combining Nathan's artistry with Thomas's practicality. It's about more than just woodworking. It's about finding ways to bridge these supposed opposites.
So, what do you make of how the village women measure Clara's every movement? That surveillance disguised as care feels so familiar in tight knit communities.
It's fascinating how they catalog her tremulous motions, watching for weakness. But we see Clara growing stronger throughout, finding her voice, protecting James from harsh judgments, learning to trust herself despite past disappointments.
The snow angel becomes such a powerful symbol, this temporary piece of art that somehow manages to have lasting impact on everyone who encounters it.
And that line about how every piece of lumber conceals a mystery, waiting for someone with the patience to reveal it. It really speaks to how we approach both art and healing, doesn't it? The patience required to discover hidden beauty.
Well, it certainly challenges this false divide between practical and beautiful things, suggesting that true craftsmanship, like true healing, requires both function and artistry.
Looking at the bigger picture, it makes you think about how communities often respond to artistic ambition, turning individual stories into moral lessons about knowing your place or not aiming too high.
Though ultimately, it seems to be about finding grace, both in ourselves and in others, the courage to try again after failure, to reach across divides.
And maybe that's what we can all take away from this crop, that sometimes the most meaningful growth happens in those quiet moments between the dramatic ones, in the patient work of revealing what's hidden, in finding balance between what we dream and what we can achieve. Well, thanks for joining us on Pages of the Heart. Remember that the truest art lies in finding the balance between beauty and strength. We'll see you next time. Be sure to follow us and subscribe to this channel so you never miss an episode. If you enjoyed today's chapter, a quick rating or review goes a long way in helping more listeners find us. As always, thanks for listening.